All right, folks. I know how you're all into Scott Lively, and I like how I'm into recording podcast audio. Phoenix McColored Woman, are you a Negro?
You keep asking, so I just feel like I have to say yes because of peer pressure at this point.
You are the goddamn whitest person I've ever seen.
All right. So let's take a look at Scott Lively. Scott Lively is one of those conservatives that thinks about gay people a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, there's something about conservatives where they're just like, they really can't get gay homies off their mind and think about something else. There's so much other going on in the world, or talk to someone gay. You realize gay is not the only thing they are.
Right.
You know, did you know that part? Did you know that somebody might be gay and they might also be into fucking eccentric grocery shopping that you call hunting?
You know, eccentric grocery shopping. You know, the more I'm in the prepper groups, I'm really beginning to think that like their politics are their only personality trait.
Oh.
And so like gay is the only thing that you can be.
If you disagree with them,
yeah,
you're just what? Gay. That's it. Is the cat scratching the hell out of that? Really? And just rushed in? No. All right. So the cats have decided that we will not be getting the deposit back. And that's why we want a mortgage. All right. So let's get into obsessive homophobe and their concern regarding Donald Trumpelstiltskin.
Okay.
I think that's what Trump essentially did, except on the homosexual issue, which I think is his biggest mistake. And I think is the reason why he lost.
It looks like he's in a hotel room.
It kind of does.
Yeah. Yeah, no one buys that art.
That's rude.
All right. So yeah, so he's talking about how he's a little disappointed in Trump on that particular front.
The election. I think that he defied God on a fundamental tenet of the Bible, and never repented of it, doubled down on it, and if any one thing could be said, why, if Donald Trump was, as I believe, God's man in the White House for 4 years, why did God not preserve him? Because if God had given him favor, nothing that mankind could have done could have removed him from that office, could have prevented him.
They tried for.
So he's God's man in the office, but also betrayed God by not being sufficiently homophobic. And then also God let him go out of there, but God didn't want to let him go because he's God's man. Conservatives making sense. I'm trying to follow this. I watched this about 4 times before going recording.
4 years.
They tried for 4 years. And yet the one thing that he did during that time that would virtually guarantee God's favor from being removed was to put his own personal stamp of approval on behavior that God condemns in the harshest possible terms.
Trump put a stamp of approval on
He didn't.
What are they referring to? You must know.
Oh, they're just basically saying that because he didn't come out and try to reverse gay marriage or openly discriminate against gay people, that he's not being homophobic enough, and this was a sin in God's eyes, and that's why God had to remove him. He was God's chosen one and he fucked it up for not being enough of a bigot.
Jesus Christ. Yet another example of fucking the God that you're arguing for still being pretty horrible. So your God was not homophobic enough. Now, according to your ideology and the shit that you people say out loud, your God said, that means I want the socialist communists that want to destroy the white man and gender and are in pedophile rings. I want that one instead.
It's actually a pretty common theme in the Bible where where like God appoints someone to do like the right thing, and then they fuck up, and because the people let this leader fuck up, God then punishes everybody as a community, right? So we have like Noah and the flood, right? Oh, y'all don't want to follow rules, I'm drowning the entire planet, right? The whole fucking Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, there's some gay people here and everyone else is tolerant. Well, I mean, they weren't gay, but according to evangelicals, you know, it was about homosexuality. So, oh, I'm going to burn down the entire city. So this is the, oh, y'all aren't holding him accountable for not being enough of a bigot. Let the fucking, let America burn. It's like that. That's a very common sort of thought process with them.
All right.
Because like, I mean, what is it they say? That like the fucking, we have hurricanes because gay marriage exists and shit.
Yeah.
Right. So we're just going to fuck up a bunch of innocent people along the coastlines because San Francisco has a pride parade. Like,
it's like, what about all the hurricanes before that?
Those don't count.
And then like, and considering that the Titanic was y'all's boat, was that just the first gay cruise?
Maybe.
And the Lord just said, oh, this is not my ark.
Maybe.
And then just kind of iced you out.
Yeah.
In a Bergian fashion.
But yeah, that's just the thing with them, where God punishes everyone for the sins of a few, and that's, you know, their thing.
Ice burgers.
No.
Titanic ice burgers.
Absolutely not.
In the Bible, which is specifically male homosexuality. It's homosexuality generally, but the condemnation is specific to male homosexuality.
Yeah, he's not condemning,
like,
a couple ladies, oiling each other up and doing other things that support the male gaze and in no way stimulate each other.
And Trump fully endorsed and backed and applauded Grenell. And as much as I admire Grenell's loyalty and the things that he did in standing up for Trump in those battles, he nevertheless was an outspoken advocate for the central doctrine of the progressive movement, which is queer theory.
All right. The central doctrine.
I wish I would have kept going because I want to hear what he thinks queer theory is.
And the progressive movement.
Also,
which
that,
of course, is just whatever they call it that day.
Right.
Yeah. It's communism. It's the new Black Panther Party in Philadelphia trying to stop the white man from voting.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Let's see if I can't roll the rest of it together and wrap this up.
Okay.
All right. So,
Lord.
Actually, I don't have to roll this together, but I can. I have a little funsy in Facebook Live the rest of it. I know folks are into that. Folks